All right, so hi yogis. My name is Brenna and we're here at Yoga Tree in San Francisco. And today we're going to talk about and practice hip openers. And specifically we're going to be working on them as a way of helping us get into the unconscious mind. So the shoulder area is the big area that holds the conscious tension, stuff that we know day in and day out. This is the stresses that we're dealing with and we have a tendency to hold it here. The stuff that we don't necessarily know is stressing us out, has a tendency to get locked into the lower part of the body. So whether this is stuff that happened to you today that you didn't know is really stressing you out, or it's something that happened to you 20 years ago, it's locked into the body, into the hip region. One of the areas. There's other areas as well, but specifically we'll work on this area. And so as a way of guiding yourself through hip openers, an ideal place to be is just stay in the seat of the observer. So accept and welcome everything that comes up. So whether stuff from the unconscious mind, whether it's images or memories or sensations or strange emotions start to arise, that's wonderful, that's great, let it happen, and be in that seat of, oh, I see this happening, and I'm just going to observe it, I'm going to accept and welcoming everything that comes up, rather than reacting to it or going down an emotional ride with it. Just let it come and then let it go, and then we'll continue to unravel more and more and more. And hopefully by the end of the session, at least you will have more open hips and you might feel a little more comfortable just being you. And that's a big part of working on the unconscious mind, is that you have a better sense or more insight about who you are, why you're here, and how you'd like the future to look, okay? All right, so let's take a moment. We'll sit up nice and tall. And please place your palms together in front of your heart. And to help us transition into our practice, let's chant the sound of Om 3 times. So, deep inhale. And then gently bow your head and let's slowly open our eyes, begin to focus. Okay, so let's start out on our hands and our knees. Okay. And then remember, whenever you're on your hands, please spread your fingertips as wide as you can. And then please ignite your Ujjayi breath, so constrict your throat, create the ha sound as you breathe. And then on your next inhalation, let's pull our hearts forward, get length in your spine. And as you exhale, round and press back in a child's pose, buttocks to heels, navel towards your spine. And then again, inhale, come back up, hands and knees, pull your heart forward. And as you exhale, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Good. And then again, inhale, come on down, hands and knees, pull your heart forward. And exhale, round and press back into child's pose, buttocks to heels. And inhale, float back up, hands and knees, pull your heart forward. And exhale into downward facing dog. Okay, so now stay in downward facing dog, a few extra breaths, and feel free to pedal back and forth between your feet, move your hips from side to side to side. Just play with your pose a little bit for now. Taking note of what's going on in your body. Good. Okay. And then on your next exhalation, please step your right foot forward up between your hands and come up onto your fingertips. And then scoot your back leg a little further back. Draw your tailbone into the body, draw the chin in, back of the neck nice and long. And then again, stay here, tune into your breath. So refine it even more. Inhale 5 seconds, exhale 5 seconds. So moving towards Samavriti, equal breath. On your next exhalation, lower your back knee down to the ground and inhale, sweep both arms overhead. And then draw your tailbone down even more. Lift your waist higher and higher and higher up off of the pelvis. And then finally bring your palms together, bend your elbows, bring your hands behind the neck. Squeeze your elbows in towards the side of your head and drag your shoulders down, lift the waist even higher. On your next exhalation, hands come back down to the ground. Shift back in a downward facing dog. And now, like a cat, nice and slow, inhale, round it forward into plank position. And as you exhale, nice and slow, lower all the way down through chaturanga to your belly. Cobra pose, inhale, pull your chest forward. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. And now step the opposite foot forward up between your hands. Again, come up onto your fingertips. Firm and engage your back leg. Good. And then on your next exhale, lower your back knee to the earth and inhale, sweep both arms overhead. Good. Beautiful. And then again, tailbone moves down and you're just growing your waist up, 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 up. Eventually bring your palms all the way together. Let your elbows bend, hands behind the neck. Squeeze elbows in, shoulders down the back. And now focus the energy, breathe big into your collarbones and then all the way down into your pelvic floor. On your next exhale, hands come back down to the ground. Now step forward, feet hip distance apart. Bend your knees a little bit and interlace your fingers behind your back. Reach your arms away from your back body, stretch out your shoulders. And now look towards your right and open your right chest towards ceiling. Keep the left knee bent, straighten your right a little bit. And then let's take it off to the opposite side. Excellent. All right, yogis, and then bring it back into the middle. Bend both of your knees a teeny bit. Let your arms now dangle towards the earth. With your knees softly bent, on your next inhalation, please roll up into standing, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. You let your head be the very last thing that lifts. Beautiful. And then stand tall in Tadasana, arms down by your sides. Actively lift through the crown of your head. And then tune into your energetic body. Energy grounding down. So again, that sense of welcoming and accepting everything. And then whatever does come up, you can use the exhalation to then just let it go and you move on to the next thing. And now, next inhalation. Sweep your arms forward and up. Gaze up through the palms. As you exhale with palms together, forward bend over your legs. Trail your hands down the front line of your body. Inhale, lift up halfway. Pull your heart forward. Get length in your spine. And exhale, hands to the earth. Walk back into plank position. Okay. So now, yogis, you decide either stay here, great for core strength, or vinyasa of your choice. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing. Excellent. And then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And now please take your right leg up into the sky. First, keep your hips squared. This is to help open the bottom leg. So big lift up out of your shoulders. Actively reach, especially through your inner left leg, inner left heel. Again, that bottom leg receiving the opening. Welcoming and accepting everything. And now finally, bend your top knee, turn it open, push into the heel, and deep breath into the right side body. right thigh, right hip. And on your next exhalation now, Virabhadrasana 1, right foot does the step up between your hands, turn your back heel down to the earth, inhale, arms reach overhead. Good, and now stay here. Draw your tailbone down a little bit more and just observe how this is opening up your back thigh, the inner left psoas hip flexor area. Okay, and now taking it more into the front leg, so let's interlace fingers behind our backs. Inhale, lift up your chest, and as you exhale, forward fold. Crown of the head descends towards the ground. So, a couple of options here. Either you rest your chest on your front thigh. If the body invites you to hang a little bit lower, then you fold to the inside of the thigh. Great. And then a few more breaths. Relax your eyes, relax your jaw, relax your brain. Maintaining that spaciousness as things come and go. On your next exhalation, hands come back down to the ground. Shift out into plank position. And pause here again. And then you decide, vinyasa or just hang here in plank pose. Awesome. All right, and then let's all meet in downward facing dog. Take a moment, find your hands, squeeze your elbows towards each other. And now inhale, extend your left leg up into the sky. Actively reach your heel. And just stay like this, a few more breaths. Sensing the opening of that bottom leg. Okay, now let's take it in the top leg. So bend your knee, turn it open, press into heel. Again, staying with your Ujjayi breath. Inhale 5 seconds, exhale 5 seconds. All right, and then on your next exhalation, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1 again. Back heel turns down to the earth. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. A few moments here. And again, nice to sense the breath actually reaching down into your hips. So inhale, chest, sides, belly, all the way down to your pelvic floor. Exhale from the pelvic floor back up. Now, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift up your heart. Exhale, forward fold over your leg. Good. All right, again, soften into your eyes, soften into your jaw. And then again, still sensing that breath, breathe all the way down into the pelvic floor. Next exhale, hands come back down to the ground. Shift back, plank pose. Pause here for a moment. And then again, you decide vinyasa or just stay here. Perfect. All right, downward facing dog. And then let's take a moment here. Uddiyana Bandha, the stomach lock. Really nice to stir up what's happening around the hips, the pelvic region, lower belly. So exhale all of your breath out. Hold your breath out. Suction your belly in and up. Eventually push the belly out. Inhale. And then please do it again. Exhale all breath out. And you go into the stillness when there's no breath, massaging the internal organs. Eventually inhale deep all the way down to pelvic floor. On your next inhalation, please take the right leg up into the sky again. Bend your knee, turn it open, push into heel. On your next exhalation, come into Warrior 2. Right foot lunges all the way up between your hands. Turn your back heel down. Inhale, float open, turning towards the side wall. Great. Okay. And now, in a sense, coaxing the hips open. From Vira 2, let's move between reverse warrior and Parsvakonasana. So as you inhale, tip backwards. As you exhale, come all the way forward into that front hip, forearm down to your thigh, take your top arm beyond your head. Exhale, come all the way back. And then take it all the way forward. All right, a few more on your own. Just move with your own breath. All right, and then the next time you're forward, yogis, let's stay there. And either maintain this arm position. If the legs want to go a little deeper, you slide your right hand down to the inside of your right foot, still reaching that top arm beyond the head. And now stay here for a few extra breaths. And then let's look down, and both hands come down to the earth inside of your right foot. Scoot your right foot over to your right and lower your back knee down to the ground. If your back knee would prefer a little more cush, throw your blanket up underneath it. Okay, and then optional, lower your left elbow down to the floor or on your block, and then maybe the right elbow as well. Okay. Good, and then regardless of arm position, eventually curl back toes under and pick up your back knee. Push into your back heel. Excellent, and then again, just observe the breath. Inhale 5, exhale 5. That balanced breathing will assist you in staying in the seat of the observer. Just welcoming, accepting, letting it come, and then letting it go. Excellent. Please lower your back knee down, come back up onto your hands, and now let's work the back leg a little bit more. So right hand onto your right thigh, and actually take your left hand off to the left side of your mat so you have a little more room. Yeah. Now twist back, spin your chest open. Point the right toes out a little bit more, like at a diagonal towards me. And now looking over your back shoulder, and then optional, your right shoulder, and then pick up your back foot and grab it with your right hand. Good. And squeeze heel in towards buttocks. Yeah. Good. Stay here. And then focus that energy into collarbones, into ribs, all the way down, into belly, into pelvis. Stay for 2 more. Beautiful. And now look down at the ground, hands to the earth, and just walk it out, downward facing dog. Take a moment here. And then again, inhale, round it forward into plank position, and either stay here or slow, steady vinyasa. Beautiful. All right, and then down dog again. And then a little Uddiyana Bandha. So, and remember, if you're on your menstrual cycle, if you're pregnant, let's skip Uddiyana. Exhale all of your breath out, hold it out. Suction your belly in and up. All right. And then let's take it off to the other side. So first lift your left leg. Open the hip again. And on your next exhalation, bring it through Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Back heel turns down to the earth. Inhale, open on up and extend out through arms. Great. All right, so first, just settle in, get really grounded, tune into the energy that is moving down into the earth and supporting you. All right, and then coaxing the hips open. So as you inhale, first lean back into reverse. And as you exhale, come all the way forward into Parsva Konasana. Good. And then keep doing that. So as you inhale, take it back. exhale as you bring it forward. Beautiful. Great, and then the next time you're forward, yogis, let's stay there, take your time. And then either stay here if you need a little bit more depth in the legs, left hand to the earth, still reaching that top arm beyond the head. And let's just stay here. And again, focus that energy. So inhale, chest, sides, belly, all the way down into the pelvic floor. Feel your pelvic floor open when you inhale. And then sense it drawing back up as you exhale. And now, looking down to the earth, both hands to the floor, inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot over to the left. Turn your left toes out a little bit. Lower your back knee. And remember, if you need a blanket, feel free to grab it now. And then make your way towards your elbows, either on the floor or your block. Also, feel free to stay up on your hands. Okay, and then again, smooth, steady breath. Relax your eyes, your jaw. Whole body breathing. Whole body opening. And then please come, lift your back knee. Thank you, yogis. And then lower your back knee, come back up onto your hands. Okay, so let's work the back leg. Right hand slides off of the mat for a little more room. Other hand onto your knee and turn back, twisting back. Optional, pick up the back foot and you grab it with your left hand. And every knee is different. So if you get there and you're like, ooh, I'd much rather have a blanket, go for it. Good, this is great. Keep doing what you're doing. Now arch your back a little bit here. So you let your hips actually shift a little forward. Is that okay? Okay, then just pull the shoulder back. Still okay? Yeah, okay. Deep breath into your pelvic floor. Stay for one more. Really nice, everybody. And now let's take it back. Downward facing dog. All right, and then just stay here. Optional, Uddiyana Bandha. Okay. All right, so now moving into pigeon pose. Take your right knee forward and let it land to the outside of your right hand. Okay, and then take a moment here, yogis. Once you've positioned your front leg, come up onto your fingertips, curl your back toes under, lift your back knee up off of the ground, and just work your back leg for a few moments here. Tailbone into the body. We lift the chest a little bit higher, and you start to really feel the opening through the back leg is what we're looking for. And then eventually scoot your back leg a little further back. The hips will pull back an inch, lower the back knee, and now come forward to your elbows. Yeah. Excellent. All right, so again, tuning into the breath. Now at this point, again, still focus on breathing all the way down into the pelvic floor region. But as we start to really release. So whatever comes up from the unconscious mind, again, we want to just eventually let it go. So it doesn't have so much weight on us. You can assist that process by lengthening your exhalation. So for example, inhale about 4 seconds, and then you exhale about 8 seconds. If equal breath is more comfortable for you, though, feel free to stay there. Okay, and now please come up onto your hands. And now take your right hand and just place it right in front of you, a little bit in front, and really lean into it. Use it for support. And now pick up your back foot again. Squeeze it with your left hand. So same hand this time grabs hold of the foot. Yeah. And then you decide how much you're squeezing that heel in towards your buttocks. Keep spinning your chest forward as you do it. Lifting up out of the waist. Beautiful. And then gently release, and let's take it back. Downward facing dog. All right. And then pigeon on the opposite side. Lunge your left knee forward. Good. And again, let's take that moment. You come up onto your fingertips. Lift your back knee off of the ground. Engage your back leg. Juice it up, basically. Lift up out of the waist. And then eventually scoot your back leg further back. Lower the knee. Come down to your elbows. Good. And then again, if helpful, use that technique of slowing your exhalation down, helping the mind stay calm and staying in the seat of the witness. Seat of the observer. I'm only going to push on you a little bit. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, and then let's come back up onto hands, yogis. Okay, lean on your left hand out in front and pick up your back leg. Squeeze heel towards buttocks and spin the chest forward. Good. Take your time. Good. Lift the pelvic floor from the inside. And then again, stay here, breathing deep into the hips. Sweet. All right, now let go of that foot. And again, let's take it back, downward facing dog. So now, inhale, come down onto your knees, and please take your blanket, open it up about this big, right, and place it to the side of your mat. Okay, so yeah, let's all go to that side if you don't mind, okay? Here, you take mine. Okay. So we're going to go into our groin opener, okay? So you'll place one knee on your mat and one knee goes on your blanket like so. And then remember, yogis, you want to have your feet kind of splay out like frog feet. And then you're going to let the knee on the blanket slide out to the side. Eventually you come down onto your elbows. We're working into the groins. Yeah, and then, eventually you just walk both knees out a little bit more, however you need to make room for yourself. Okay. Great. Okay, and then the stretches, when you're on your legs like this, you move your buttocks back in space, and that will help you go deeper into the groins. Now, if the knee that's on the mat is a little not enough cush, you just roll your mat up a little bit. Okay. All right, so big breath here. Definitely breathing into your hips. Encourage that slower exhalation. Encouraging that letting go. Mm-hmm. Okay. Last 2 breaths here. Okay. Come back, slide the knee back in. And then make your way into down dog. Great. Okay. So now, Ardha Hanumanasana, maybe into Hanumanasana. So please step your right foot forward up between your hands. Lower your back knee to the ground. Okay. And then as you see Sarah here, let's shift back so that the left hip is straight over the knee. And then you're extending your right leg out as far out in front of you as you need to. And then if you need a block, what you do, scooch this foot a little more forward. You place it underneath your calf. And then one hand goes on the side of the block, the other hand goes on the side of the block. And now you're pulling the toes back towards you, shifting that energy up through the thigh. Be nice. Yeah. You decide how straight the front leg is. And then again, yogis, nice to do Uddiyana Bandha here. Exhale all of your breath out, hold it out, and suction your belly in and up. Forehead moves in towards shin. And some of you will touch the shin or the forehead down. Beautiful. Okay, now either you continue to work here or you head towards Hanumanasana, full splits. So you just start to shimmy front leg forward, back leg back. And feel free to continue to use prop. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And then again, maintaining that smooth, steady breath. It's big energy in the arms as you're first learning this pose. Okay. Holding the body. Okay. Now, I recommend those that are on your hands still, curl your back toes under, lift your back knee, make your back leg work. So it turns it more into a stance, right? Building the strength around the pose rather than just going into the flexibility. And now just 2 more breaths here as you keep that back leg active. Again, it's just optional. Yeah. Okay, and then lower the back knee if it's up, and then carefully make your way back. Downward facing dog for a moment. Let your hips adjust. Great. Okay. And now, side 2. So first, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits, left foot lunges. Back knee to the earth. Right hip is straight over your right knee. Walk your front leg as far forward as you need to in order to have the legs straight and the toes pulling back towards you. Yeah. Yep. Take your time. Good. And then again, also nice to do Uddiyana Bandha here. Forehead towards shin. Okay, and then optional, head towards Hanumanasana, full splits. And then optional, curl back toes under, lift the back knee, turn it into a stance, juice up that back leg. Beautiful. Take it back. Down dog. Right. So take a moment here, again, maybe a little Uddiyana Bandha. And then on your next exhalation, either walk or jump into seated. Okay, so now, Upavisukonasana. So let's fold up the blanket one more time, probably from where it's at, and sit on the edge of it. And then you'll stagger a little bit and open your legs out wide into your straddle. Okay? Okay. Yeah, and then feel free to bend the knees, of course. So you feel like you're kind of slipping forward off of your blanket. Place your hands behind you onto the ground and actively lift up out of your spine. And then pressing through heels. Okay. So for some of you, this is where you're going to stay. Again, hands on the ground behind you, lifting up actively. And then some of you are going to feel free to fold forward in front of the legs. Okay, so either one. So we're looking for the stretch through the inner groins. Okay, some of you are going to feel it in the hamstrings and in the calves. And then just stay with your breath. Again, that longer exhalation by now is going to really help the mind stay in the place of the observer. Yeah, beautiful. It's okay. Okay, last breath here. And then on your next inhalation, please return back up. Okay, and then come off of your blankets. So now, working towards double pigeon. So let's start with that left leg under and the right foot over. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and so what we're looking for is stacking the shins, basically. So as you see Sarah here, one shin is on top of the other. Her bottom foot is sticking out, so you actually see it. And then the other foot slightly to the outside of that front thigh. And again, front shins as parallel as you can get them, okay? And then placing the hands behind you onto the ground. Intentionally arching your back a little bit. You push your pubic bone forward, like you're spilling your pelvic bowl forward. And then some of you, this is where the gold is at. You want to just stay right here. Some of you are going to lean forward. Excuse me. And then a nice thing to do here is actually place your elbows on top of your legs. Kind of lean into them a little bit. Yeah, and then some of you will feel comfortable walking your hands even further forward, but be slow and steady with it. So super optional. So you see how Deb is letting her knee be high? Yeah? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna take this, don't worry about this foot yet, just bring this foot over here a little bit more and you bring it forward. Good. Now let this knee go really big and just get this foot here, maybe. Yeah. 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 Now place your hands behind you. Yeah. And you just work right there. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, cool. And then helpful to flex, just so you're really conscious of what's happening. Nice. Yeah, and you just stay back. Mm-hmm. And that gravity is like pulling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. Just one more breath here. Beautiful. Okay, and then we'll switch sides. So take your time. Great. Okay, so yeah, nice to start with your hands behind you. You're flexing your feet at least a little bit, arching the back, pushing the pubic bone forward and down. And when you're ready, again, take your time. You'll lean forward. Mm-hmm. And again, even here, inhale 4, exhale about 8. Okay, and then let's inhale and let's come back. Excellent. Please extend your legs out in front of you. Just shake them out a little bit. Okay, and then let's roll down onto our backs. So a little knee bend. Reach your arms out in front and then you roll down nice and slow, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra, supporting the pelvic region. And then extend your arms overhead. Reach out through your hands and your feet. Lengthen your whole body. Good. Okay, and then let's finish up with a twist yogi. So bend your knees, feet on the earth, and cross your right thigh over your left thigh. So this gets a twist, but a little deeper into the hips. Before you twist, pick up the buttocks, shift it over towards your right, and then pick up your knees close to your chest and drop them over to your left. Push your knees down with your left hand, and now gaze out over your right arm. And feel free to close your eyes. And again, just settle in. Inhale, 4, exhale, 8. Letting all things just come and go. And then when you're ready, let's switch sides. And then remember, once you've done the cross, lift your buttocks, shift it over to your left a little bit. hike your knees up and then you drop it over to your right side. Push your knees down with their right hand. And get nice and steady with that exhalation. Ooh. Get a big breath into your chest. And then exhale. Good, again, inhale. And exhale. Good. Okay, last breath here. And then please come on up. Hug your knees into your chest. Do a little rock from side to side. Okay, and then let's actually finish up with happy baby pose. So grab hold of the outside edges of your feet. And then remember, you push your tailbone down, shoulders down, back of the neck down. Okay, and then a nice thing to do from here is actually bring the soles of your feet together up over the height of your chest rather than at the groin. And then from there, you push straight down towards you. So you got to use the strength of your arms to push straight down. Beautiful. And then you're still pushing your tailbone down, but let it rise up a little bit so that you can coax those feet even closer towards the chest. Yeah. And then 2 more deep breaths here. Big into the belly, big into the pelvis, giving them a bunch of energy. Okay. And then eventually we come on out and stretch it out into Shavasana, relaxation pose. So sprawling out onto your mat. Good to have your feet about as wide as your mat. That way the hips can roll open a little bit, pelvic floor will open up a little bit. Relax the skin of your forehead. Feel your eyeballs sink into your eye sockets. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. And again, just being in the process of letting go. Sense gravity pulling on your body. The top of your body spreading. The back of your body flattening. Sense your whole body merging with the earth. Gently now start to come back. Bring movement into limbs. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your head from side to side to side. On your next inhalation, arms reach overhead and stretch out as if waking. And then bend knees towards chest. And roll off to your right side. And then gently, when you're ready, come on up into seated. Okay, so just take a moment here. And sit nice and tall. And reflect upon your practice. So, how long were you able to stay in that seat of the observer? How often was it easy for you to just let things come and let things go? Most likely there were some moments where you were really in your stuff and really thinking about things and problem solving and reacting, etc. That's normal. And then there were those moments where you really were able to just let it come and let it go. So no judgment, no right or wrong, simply observe. And now place your palms together in front of your heart and take a moment to honor yourself in your practice. And honor your peers and their practice. And I honor you as well. Thank you so much for being here today, sharing your energy and your space. And let's finish together with one long Om. Deep inhale. Rub your hands together so you get some heat going. Bring them up to your eyeballs and inhale the energy. And rub your eyes and your face and your ears, your neck and your shoulders. And then bowing inwards, bow into your light. Namaste.